Hi, so you all know my birth story. So last time I just shared about my postpartum mental health, like an intro. And so I just thought to share my experience further. So it just so happened like before giving birth. So my parents or my mom spoke to me, and my dad spoke to me. It's like, no, once you give birth, you must come home so that your mom can take care of you for 3 months and all of that stuff. So I guess it's a norm, like most probably I think it's an African norm. Yeah, it is an African norm. It's culture in Africa, maybe amongst other people as well, that your mom normally, if it's possible, takes care of you after you've given birth. And so I just thought that 3 months is a very long time for me to leave my home. And yeah, I just thought my husband will miss out on my baby's girl if he won't get to see my baby. And he'll visit me like what, once a week because he's working. So only on the weekends he'll come see his child. It's not realistic. So I wasn't really for that. So I had asked my mom if she could possibly come and stay with us. But at the end of the day, my mother-in-law is the one who came and stayed with us. My mom would check in every day. She'd also come through. Eventually, I did go stay with my mom, just for other reasons. We needed a doctor, and one of the doctors was close by to my mom's. Um, but I was just grateful that I actually stayed home and I got to go through my postpartum experience with my husband, like specifically the first 2 weeks. Um, Reason being is that not only did he get to see his baby grow and cry and all of that stuff, he got to partake in my sufferings as well. So I'm actually grateful for that because imagine had I gone home for 3 months, 4 months, came back with this big baby, can't recognize him, and I also come back. I'm having some strength. I'm recovered. I'm walking up and down, and all of that stuff. There would have been a mismatch. Like he wouldn't have seen the changes that I went through. I feel like he probably would have expected the same Judith before the pregnancy to have came. I don't know if that makes sense. 'Cause I'm just thinking in my head, just imagine I go back, I come back, and he's expecting the same puppy Judith, and he doesn't know the suffering Judith. He doesn't know the Judith that was crying late at night. He doesn't know the Judith that had to breastfeed every 2, 3 hours, every 4 hours, and at night, the sleepless, restless Judith. And so there would be a mismatch. I think there would be like frustration in that regard because he would be like wondering why is Judith not bubbly? Not that I'm a naturally bubbly person. I'm actually not bubbly. But like, why is Judith angry? Why is Judith frustrated? I miss the Judith from back then. I think that's my perception. I'll actually ask him. But I do remember we had this chat, and I was just like, I'm grateful you got to see like what I went through because of that, you like my husband then has some sympathy. Like he sees the pain I'm going through, and so he's not having this unrealistic expectation that I'm wanting the same Judith that I married, the one who's cooking, the one who's active, the one who unfortunately after that like giving birth a c-section, like it wasn't possible to get the same Judith that you had married to. Like there's a transition phase. I've transitioned into a mom, into a mom indeed, yeah. And being a mom takes a lot. So I actually appreciated it because then he partook in my suffering, as I said. In the mornings, he would be the one to help me clean up my C-section incision. So because I think the first few days I wasn't ready to even look at it, so he'd help me clean that up. Oh, every day I had to be injected with something. I don't know what it's called, but I received an injection every day for about 7 days or 5 days. That helps with the blood clot so that I do not clot up. It was painful. So he would inject me just somewhere above my incision, and I would cry. Sometimes I felt like saying, just stab me quickly, just, because it's like slow, and then the needle was coming in slowly, and it's just painful. But he got to see all of that. He got to partake in my sufferings. He got to help me. And because of that, there's sympathy. Walking together, I think expectations are sort of being not being made, but being what's that? Being made realistic, being made real, because now you know my capabilities. After my parents, my in-laws left me like at 6 weeks, and I had to like start learning how to do things on my own. He understood that I can't stand for so long, so I'll try wash the dishes. My back would hurt. I'd stop. He'd be like, "It's fine. I've got this." If I can't cook, you'd understand. So I'm appreciative of that. Um, yeah, that I didn't get to go through this alone. and I could express my emotions. He could express his emotions. Because, as well, at the beginning, the first few days, we got back, like, the baby only wants me. And he even expressed to me, like, I feel left out. I feel like this child doesn't want me. He doesn't love me. Every time I carry him, he's crying. Then, had to then, like, no, it's because obviously I'm the mom. He's used to my scent, but we get to have those conversations, when I'm emotional and I feel like, oh goodness, I'm failing my son. I can share those emotions and those experiences that I'm going through in my mind. So as I'm able to voice them out, we're able to reason together and comfort each other. So that's what I really appreciated. So yeah, that's my take on, also help when it came to my mental health as well. So, like I said in the first video, you can't do this alone. So support is really key, and like the most immediate support is your husband, because you don't want to be, because it does get frustrating sometimes. Like, "Ugh, I'm the one changing the nappies, I'm the one bathing the child, I'm the one doing this, doing that." It does get frustrating, but now once your partner also partakes and is also open, because at the end of the day, you're the father of the child, so you can't be like, oh, it's a woman's job to do this. No, like, we help each other. So if I'm struggling, I can't, you do it. I couldn't vent for the longest, so sometimes I couldn't bathe my son. So at the beginning, it was my husband that knew how to bathe my son. He knew, like, the water temperature, because okay, I have a problem with that regard. But he was there. He would change the nappies as well. Because I remember initially it's like, "Oh, I can't change the nappy. I don't know how to change the nappy. I don't want to change poop." I'm like, my guy, just go change. You'll figure it out. You learn it. And it also helped because like, I also had this mindset that I can't do everything. And I remember one of the ladies gave me an advice that, others also have a way of doing their things, and it's okay. And it made so much sense. Like, even if it doesn't wipe the baby's bottom the way I would want to do it, it's okay as long as the child is clean, even though the clothing coordination is not well, it's fine as long as the baby's dressed. If I'm not happy with how he does things and constantly telling him, don't do it like that, I'll end up doing everything on my own, and I can't do everything on my own. So I relinquish control. It's fine. Do it the way it fits. You think is good for the baby, as long as the baby's healthy, safe, I'm good to go. So yeah, so you can't do it on your own. I've been saying that. That's my theme message. You can't do it on your own. Get help. Um, get help. Accept help. Ask for help. What else can I say? Do what's best for you and baby. Be flexible. Um, the textbook is not always right, or it's not always the best option. So as long as baby's fine, is healthy, safe, you okay, you're comfortable, yeah, you're good to go. So that's my 2 cents on mental health, on my journey postpartum. Yeah.